Hi everyone, welcome to another video on Saint Seiya, and this time I'll be showing you guys a different game. So not Saint Seiya Legend of Justice, but instead I'm going to show you guys a different game called Saint Seiya Rebirth. Now this name may be familiar to some of you guys, mainly because a sequel of this game, I guess, was released earlier this year called Saint Seiya Rebirth 2. Now, the review for that game is a bit mixed. I heard it's very pay to win heavy, and also it's quite easy to get bored. There's not much strategy going on with that game either, so it's pretty mixed review. But at the same time, they did bring out like 3D animation, like the graphics does look very clean and more modern, so you may actually quite like it purely from like the animation and graphic point of view. So it's quite mixed review on that game. However, this game, being the original Rebirth game, has actually been out on the market for about like 8 years now. So it's like I guess you can say it's like tried and tested game, which definitely works and has like longevity. It's still quite different to Rebirth 2, mainly because if you actually look at the animation, with the graphics general, this is still more like your classic anime gacha, which whereas the new game, I really want to say it's like a lot more like modern CG animation as opposed to like anime feel. So depending on what kind of like graphics you really like, you may actually prefer kind of this original layout as opposed to the newer, cleaner version of Rebirth 2. But anyway, in this video, I'll be showing you guys how to actually download this game if you guys do want to try, and I'll show you guys some simple gameplay as well to let you guys decide whether you actually think this game is worth playing or not. Okay, so to actually download this game, which I think right now it's only available in China, what you're going to do is you are going to go through a platform called X7 Games, which is kind of like the equivalent of Google Play, I guess, to some extent. I'm going to share this link in the description below, but basically, once you actually go on this link, there is a download button. Now, this download button is not actually for the game itself, but for the platform. So you need to you think of it like you need to install Google Play first and then download from the Google Play Store. So the same concept here. You need to install X7 Games first and then download the game from X7 Games. So once you actually click this download button, it will download the file which you can then install, and that's going to be your platform, which is X7 Game. So you can see a screen like this. Now what's going to be the first thing I recommend you guys do? It's basically just to log in with an email account. Now, you don't actually need to create an account specifically for X7 Games, because once you actually go to this tab here on Me, what you can just do is you can click on Home, and basically you can actually log in with whatever email you already have. So, for example, you already have a Gmail, you can put your Gmail account here and then press Get Code. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna send you a verification code to your Gmail. So for example, here you can say, I'll go a verification saying this 6-digit code is basically what I need. And by then entering those 6-digit code and also my email, I can then basically create an account using my existing email, and I don't need to actually set up like an official account or password for X7 Games. So that's quite handy. Now, once you have done that, what you can then do is obviously actually go into the game section and then search for Saint Seiya. So if I actually search for Saint Seiya, you can then see the two games here. This Legend of Justice, which is, by the way, how you can play the simplified Chinese version of this game. I already have a video on this if you do want to check out. And then obviously you also have Rebirth, which, funnily enough, it actually has more players than Legend of Justice, so take that however you want. It is an older game though. This one's like 8 years old, where this one's only 3 years old. But still, right, it has a bigger player base than Saint Seiya Legend of Justice. What you can then do is basically go on this game link, and then you can download the game directly here. It will also show you, for example, when a new server will be launched, so you can potentially plan when you actually start this game by picking the date when new server is launched, because then obviously you have the best available start in comparison to other players on your same server as well. Okay, so once you have actually installed and downloaded this game, obviously you can click on it to start playing. Now it's going to start off with a bit of a intro animation, which I think is from Saint Seiya Lost Canvas, which is quite cool. And also later on I'll show you in the game, they actually include characters from I think like all of the Saint Seiya series. So you have like Soul of Gold, you have Saint Seiya Omega, Lost Canvas, Next Dimension, the female version to our Saint Seiya show. I think that's what's cool. So it's quite cool. We basically have like every single character available from all of the different series. But anyway, you can skip the animation if you don't want to watch it, and then you get into this login screen. Now, if you have already logged into the platform, it should be able to log in directly into the game for you as well. And basically, what you can just do is click on the sub account to actually get into this game. So basically, sub account is kind of like X7 Games create a sub account for each one of the game you're going to play. So that's basically what it is. Okay, so once you have actually logged in, you can then actually enter the game server itself. And as you can see, it's 8-year anniversary. So it has been out there for a very, very long time. Okay, so what exactly is this game? So I'm going to show you some simple gameplay. Now, this is still like a gacha game at its core, but you can basically go into, let me just go into this random stage. Uh, you can see your team lineup, and you basically can put whoever you want. Now I will show you all the characters available in this game later on, but basically, for example, here I have my characters like this. They are color coded in terms of I think like front, center, and back, and you can only play most 3 characters of the same type. There's also I think like physical versus like spell attack or magic attack. So that basically you can choose your and categorize your characters different way like this. Now you can then enter the battle itself, which is basically like a arcade format. Now there's a bit of a storyline, which once again is quite nice. Obviously I'm still very early in the game. I'm not sure how it goes later on once we move to the other version like Lost Canvas or Omega versions series of this Saint Seiya franchise. But it would be really, really cool if they do have a storyline for those as well. So, but we'll see. But right now you can see kind of storyline, and then there's be some enemies popping up. Now, I currently have it at like semi-auto, and which is kind of why all of the characters use their skills themselves. It's also quite fast because I have +2 speed. But let me slow it down slightly. I'll skip this. I'll slow it down, and then what you can see is that when you have your ultimate skill ready, so basically when you have a semi-auto, all of the normal skills will be used, but you can still activate your special skill this way, which is basically by clicking on the character, I think, and then swiping upwards, and you can then see some pretty cool animation for all of the character. Now, considering this is like 8 year old, the animations are not actually that bad. So, I do think like I'm a good fan of the animation available or the graphics available in this game, considering how old it is. I still think like it can be compared to some of the games like the newer game which have only been recently released, etc. Okay, so that's kind of the main animation, graphic, battle, etc. Let me show you the actual characters. They have a lot of different characters. So you can see all of those different characters. Like they have a lot because obviously it's like 8 year old. The easiest way to show you this is actually if I try to summon for a character. Oh, also something else I forgot. Obviously, X7 games provide utilities such as translation. So if you don't actually know exactly what's going on in this game, you can basically click on something. There will be a translation button, which if you don't see this translation button, basically you have to go into here, which is this X7 game utility. Then go into this functionality or tool section, and there's a translation tab here. Okay, so you can click on this translation, and then it will bring up this icon. And all you need to do is click on this icon, and then it will show you the different translation of different things. Now, if there's a really long text, what you can do is that you can actually click on the text to see the whole thing. But yeah, basically tells you of the basic. For example, the description of this attack, every 10% awakening increase 5% damage. I guess that's what it's trying to say. So basically it's quite handy when you need to play like a game in different language with this kind of like on-screen translation. The other thing I also forgot to mention is that I haven't needed to use VPN to play this game at all. But if you are having trouble playing this game or other games like X7 games, you can basically just use a VPN as well and set it to China, and that probably will help as well. Okay, but anyway, I was going to show you all of the characters available through the summary, and I'll show you summoning animation as well. I think summoning is here. So here, basically you get some free summons every single day. But you can also have this one, which basically, I guess is a more premium banner. And the nice thing about this is that there's a pity system. Basically it costs you, it will say how many it costs you. So for example, this one, you need to get like, it's essentially a pity of 80 summons in order to get this character for free. I will redeem it, and right now I'm only at 31. And basically you can get 1 point per summon. So basically 8 multis and you can get a character here. And some of the weaker character, what I guess less good characters, cost a bit less as well. For example, Pandora only costs 45. So basically you can, there's like the pity system in this game is actually quite nice and quite easy to build up. Now in terms of the character, you can see some really vast roster of character here. So this, I have Hilda from the Asgard arc in the original series. I have obviously, I think his Titan, he's from Saint Seiya Omega. So you already see here, you have Aris Kiki, once again from Saint Seiya Omega, so you can already see the series here. You have obviously the Odin version of Seiya. You have Mars, once again from Saint Seiya Omega. You then have obviously the classic Hades arc, so you have the surplus version of the different characters. You have, who else do we have that I can show? I think that's Abel from Next Dimension. And then you have the different Asgard characters, obviously. I think there are more. There's Cassius if you want to play him, which is quite cool as well. Um, then once again from the Hades arc. I saw there more. Let me show you in the actual characters. I'm pretty sure I saw some characters from that Sensei show as well, but maybe just can't actually summon for them. Well, can't get them from pity. Okay, I found it where you can see more characters in this game. So basically, if you actually go into the list of characters you currently have, you can also see the ones you don't have, and you can then see all of the other characters available, even though they may not be available through pity. Okay, so basically you have I mean lots of characters who I don't even know. As in this guy, for example, is from Sensei Omega. You can actually see the icon with the logo from the series they're from as well, which is quite nice. You also have Cassius, which is always fun to see to actually play him. You then also have Sensei Show, so that's the main character of that female version of Sensei. Um, who else do we have? You don't have very different awakened version of characters from also Sensei Show. I haven't actually watched that series, so I don't actually know what's that about. But then you can also see, for example, the guys from Omega, so Titan, the very different Martians, etc. Uh, Aris Kiki, I already showed you earlier. Who else do we have? Then you have the Soul of Gold series, so you can see the God close of version of all of those different original Gold Knights. So you have the God close version of Iodia, Doko, Aldebaran, Shaka, etc. So you can see all of them, which is quite cool once again. You then have, who else do you have? You obviously have the standard next dimension characters, etc. And also Lost Canvas. I think these are from Lost Canvas, I believe. Yeah, this from Lost Canvas. This is the, oh, I forgot his name. This is like the past life of Phoenix Icky, which is quite cool to see here as well. You then obviously have the protagonist, the main character from Lost Canvas as well. You have this guy as well, Alter, the Silver Knight, which is quite cool. So yeah, so you can see like you can see all of different kind of the characters from different series. So I think like from purely from like a completion or gacha point of view, this game provides way more characters than any other Sensei game I've seen so far.